Shapeshifters.
So we've got the background to Michael Griffin, tonight's shapeshifter, the chief executive of ADDaBIT. What's ADDaBIT?
Well, simply put, it's all about simple social saving. That ADDaBIT describes what you do. You literally add a little bit to a fund, and you share that with your friends and family. So,
what's the difference, though, between me having a bank account in my name with an account number? You could add a bit to my bank account, couldn't you?
Yeah, but it's really not so easy. It's not so shareable. Here we've been able to take a platform, a banking platform, and put a really nice user journey on top of it. So we've made it look nice and frilly. And you can go and create a beneficiary and then add a fund to it, call it a tennis racket fund or maybe a Lego fund or an iPad fund, and invite your friends and family to contribute to it. And then they're able to see the growth of it. So if you did it in the traditional way, putting in a bank account, you wouldn't know how much money was there. You wouldn't know if he achieved his goal. Here it becomes all very transparent and everybody can contribute and kind of encourage you to keep going through the process of trying to save for something that you really want.
Okay, let's go through. You've got a 1, 2, 3 step. Sign up for free as a trustee. Okay, so I want to sign up for little Johnny. For a first beach holiday fund, for argument's sake. So I click on one, what happens?
You go through to the sign-up form. You can sign up 2 ways currently. You can sign up using your Facebook account. So you just use your Facebook username and password and you go in to the system. Alternatively, you fill out your name, your surname, an email address and a password and you're in.
How do you get me featured? Because suddenly you go into banking regulation because this is a bank account, right?
Yeah, but it's a bank account with a twist to it. So if you're just doing a birthday related fund and it's a short term, so in other words, in the next 6 months, your kid's having a birthday. You're not actually having a fund, you're not actually having a bank account there. You're buying into a gift voucher or some kind of redemption. So to give an example, if you made an account for some Lego in the next 4 months, you would get a Polly Potter voucher in return for the face value of whatever it was, 300 Rand, 500 Rand, and then you could go and buy your Lego from any Polly Potter store.
Okay. Which for those of you who don't know is a very nice kids toy store.
Yeah, it's a great toy store. It's got really good product. Okay. They quality products and they're also educational to a certain degree, which is pretty cool.
All right, so this is what you call social saving. You then add your child as a beneficiary. On a process like this, but surely at some point there's got to be a regulatory element to this, because nobody in the banking sector, and certainly not the regulators in the banking sector, like people operating bank accounts outside of the financial system. You need, an FSP license at some point.
Yeah, we partnered with a really cool company called FFG, and they're based down in Potch, and basically they brought us the licensing component so that we're operating legally, and then we obviously feature the funds that are 6 months in advance. So if it's a university fund that you're saving for, then you go through a FICA process. You upload your ID and your proof of address, and it's simply done through.
Now, for many people saying, I'm going to start up a tax-free savings account for my kid before I go and do a Lego fund for my kid, because there's a tax advantage, tax-free savings accounts. Why go this route? It's sort of event-based, perhaps?
It's event-based, but it's also, you've got to break it up into your needs for now and your needs for in the future. So you can't only have stuff in the future. We all live, especially our kids. We want them to have at least one toy. They don't have to have 100 toys. So for sure you can use a tax-free solution, which we're in the process of putting onto the site as well. So you could use a tax-free, but that's for a longer-term thing. And really, if you want to go tax-free, you want to go something that you never really, if possible, you never use those funds. They continue to grow and they continue to become a nest egg for much longer, 20, 30 years down the line.
How then? So my kid is now a beneficiary of this thing. They're in this social space. How then do other people access it to dump extra bits of cash in? Because, auntie lives in Canada, uncle lives in Australia, want to make contributions. So there's a $10 and a $20 Canadian contribution that goes into this. Have you got the Forex stuff sorted out on that front?
Yeah, that's all sorted. So let me answer the first part of your question. In terms of getting people in to see the fund, you can invite them. There's an investor invitation process that you can add an investor.
So it's like sort of saying you're wanting to friend somebody on Facebook. It's a similar concept.
Similar concept. So that's quite qualified. You say, I want to invite my uncles and my aunts, and you can invite them to that process. However, there's another process that you can also use when you have a birthday party, for argument's sake, and your wife writes out these really cute invitations, and she drops them off at the teacher at school.
You make
the
assumption that this is women's work, but that's okay.
Well, it could be mom or dad. Doesn't really make a difference. On that invitation, the party invitation, you can say, please, if you're thinking about gifting, we've created an ADDaBIT fund for little Johnny, and we have a 10-digit code, reference code. And then all of the people that are attending his party just sign up on ADDaBIT and use the 10-digit code to access the fund.
What strikes me as something of a hard sell, though, is to say to little Johnny, hey, look at this website where we're collecting money for you. And little Johnny goes, I like the boxes and the pretty wrapping paper. When my mates arrive, I like to have a delivery. That's part of the fun.
I think there's components of that. And to be honest, not everybody's going to contribute to the fund. We understand that some people will want to bring a gift. But we're also seeing that a lot of kids would rather have something nice, rather have something that's a little bit more money, but really cool and really nice. And this enables them, instead of just bringing cash, which can be quite dry, I suppose. You arrive at the party with an envelope of cash. Here you've contributed to something, and you can see the journey of little Johnny when he gets it.
But what I like about it is that it creates goals in kids' minds. It creates the incentive for those kids to save, to make even if it's a short-term savings plan. It's a case of take your pocket money. You put your pocket money once a month into, you add a bit. Granny adds a bit, Grandpa adds a bit. Everybody adds a bit down the line. You reach a goal, you then realize that goal. That's got to be positive. But surely it's got bigger applications than that, because a lot of people who turn 40 or 50 end up getting socks that they really didn't want, or books that they really didn't want, and they couldn't be bothered to go back to exclusives to change them, or embarrassed to do it in case they bump into the person who gave it to them in the aisle doing the same thing. This has got to have further applications.
Yeah, and what's difficult for us at this point in time is to actually try and isolate those applications, because there's so many of them. So, 40, 50, 80-year-old birthday parties are great components. At work, you want to doing a farewell party. That's a great way to make sure that everybody's collected, put their money in to the fund that you whoever's gift's leaving. So there's many ways that you can apply this. And what's really cool, in terms of your question earlier on about the international money, your aunts and uncles from around the world now, instead of giving you nothing because they can't get it to you and it's expensive to post it, they can just go onto ADDaBIT and use their credit card and you're shopping on Amazon.com, they swipe their card and we take the money out of their card and give it to little Johnny.
How much traction have you got so far?
We've had incredible traction for, something that's brand new, and a concept that doesn't exist in this form anywhere in the world. We've got a little over 400 investors already, and literally, I say brand new, 6 to 8 weeks old, 400 investors, and the size of the funds are in excess of 10 million rand in terms of targeted goals.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry.
So it's really, I think it's the right time for where we are in this country, and hopefully we can take it global with similar success.
There we go, Michael Griffin. Thanks very much for coming in. Chief Executive of ADDaBIT, ADDaBIT.com. Have a look at it. Cute kid, ginger hair, big specs, very sweet. Not yours, is it?
No, unfortunately.
But this is an idea born in a kid's bedroom, having a look at a kid's bedroom and going, look at all these toys that don't get played with anymore. Surely there's got to be a better way of saving and saving for goals-based saving. ADDaBIT.com. That is Michael Griffin, tonight's Shapeshift.